So this morning is supposed to be questions and answers. Hope you're all ready, as this session was requested. Before that, I'm going to do a 10-minute recording, which has been requested by devotees in London to play it on one day to their devotees who are going out on book distribution during the December marathon. So Aspitam Purushang Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasah Parastat Tameva Vididvati Mrityumeti Nanyaf Panta Vidyate Yanaya Yasmad Stikinchit Jayati Janadi Vaso Deviki Janmavado Yaduvara Parashat Swardhorbhir Asyan Adharmam Sthirachara Vrijana Kanasusmita Srimukena Rajapura Vanitanam Vadhyan Kamadevam Parhapirang Natavaravapu Karneyo Karnikaram Vibhradvasa Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamalam Randhan Veno Radhara Sudhaya Purayan Gopa Vrindayar Vrindaranyam Swapada Ramanam Pravishad Gita Kirtihi Shri Radhaya Pranayamahima Kidrisho Vanayaiva Svadyo Yenadbhuta Madhurima Kidrisho Vamadiya Sokyang Chasyamad Anubhavata Kidrisham Veti Lobhat Tadbhavardhya Sanajani Shachi Garba Sindho Harindo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you can start the recording just now? Yeah, but stop and start. It'll be. So I congratulate the devotees who are making the sacrifice of distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. Sankirtan Yagya. Yagya means a sacrifice, means offering. That corresponds with the principle of bhakti, which is Atma Nivedan, offering oneself. We are the sacrifice. We are offering ourselves to Krishna. Also in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's stated that bhakti, devotional service, should be performed tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivra means intensely, and this is certainly an intense activity. It cannot be anything but intense. There's no half-heartedness. It requires total concentration, and that is yoga also. Yoga means to link. So the perfect yogi, Atmopam Yena Sarvatra Samam Pashyati Yojana Sukham Va Yadiva Dukam Sayogi Paramo Mataha. The perfect yogi is one who sees that I suffer in this world, I have my ups and downs, everyone else does too, and to feel sympathy for them and to try to help them. This is the best possible way to help. So this is, of course, one major reason. There are many reasons why devotees should sacrifice to go out day after day with full intensity to distribute these books. It's much easier. We may think, well, it's cold, I'm feeling sick, I'm sleepy, I could be more comfortable, this, that. There are so many reasons why not to do it. So every day we can meditate for some time before we go out on why are we doing this. I personally had one experience many years ago in which I was under the dictate of my mind in some difficult situation, and I thought, why am I doing this? I don't have to do this. And then it just struck me that yes, I'm doing this because Srila Prabhupada wants me to do, and that is one overwhelming reason why we should do this. That's gratefulness to Srila Prabhupada that he has given us this knowledge. The Guru, the main understanding of a Guru is that Agyana Timirantasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The Guru is one who gives us the vision by which we can see things as they actually are. He brings us out of the darkness of ignorance by giving us knowledge. So Srila Prabhupada also said, in these books, he asked his disciples once to see if they could understand, and Srila Prabhupada said, because we are giving knowledge, real knowledge. So out of gratefulness to Srila Prabhupada, that's one reason, gratefulness. Srila Prabhupada said in a letter to devotees from Los Angeles, a letter came from Los Angeles that so many devotees had distributed so many books, and Srila Prabhupada said, if at all you feel indebted to me, then try to preach vigorously like me. So we cannot repay our debt. Srila Prabhupada explained that we cannot repay our debt to the spiritual master, but we should try to by distributing the knowledge that he has given us. And the best way to do it is by this book distribution. So that's there are so many reasons. When we start to think of it, the reasons start jumping out at us. There's sense of gratefulness, sense of duty because we are ordered. It is the order of the spiritual master. The order of the spiritual master is the active principle in spiritual life. We have a duty. We have to. There's no question. When there's a duty, there's no question. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Do it. I have to do it. I'm obliged to do it. So this duty we take up, and we understand also that by doing so, we ourselves are best benefited. We might think, well, let me stay behind and chant some extra rounds and study more. All these things should be there. There should be good study, good chanting, everything. But our life is not meant simply for our own benefit. It is our duty on the order of Srila Prabhupada, as he sacrificed everything and struggled so much to help us, to bring this knowledge to others. So it's out of sense of gratefulness, sense of duty, a sense of compassion of those of us who are fortunate to be blessed by the knowledge that Srila Prabhupada has given us in his books. We even though we may feel that, well, I couldn't catch it or I couldn't apply it in my life, I'm still very neophyte, I couldn't apply it fully in my life, but whatever we've taken up, to admit that it's revolutionized our life to the extent that we want to share this with others. We are tremendously benefited in a way that we're benefited in a way that nothing else and no one else could have benefited us. There's nothing in the world that we could have got the benefit from that we're getting from Srila Prabhupada's books. There's nothing else. There's no comparison. There's no method. There's not by getting Ayurvedic massage or having some relaxation techniques or having some psychotherapy or getting lots of money. There's nothing, absolutely nothing can compare to what Srila Prabhupada has given us. That is, we should recognize that even though I may be very neophyte, but I'm in a much better position than these people who don't have this knowledge. So out of a sense of compassion, we want to give that to them also. That if we have even a tiny drop of the compassion that Srila Prabhupada had for us, then we'll be fully surcharged to try to share this with others. And knowing that, as Srila Prabhupada said, there is no better way of preaching Krishna consciousness than distributing my books. Not that there's not other ways of doing, but this is the vanguard of our movement. This is the main thrust. So we can meditate on all these reasons that people, they need these books. It's their opportunity. They got the human form of life. They're just going through it without any knowledge of what they could be doing, how they could be benefited. They're just getting born, living in ignorance, dying in ignorance, and then they'll take birth again in ignorance. And they lost the chance. Not only did they lose the chance, but Everyone in this Kali Yuga, every single day of their life, they commit to, unknowingly even, activities which are going to give them a very black future, even a very black present. So out of this sense of compassion, wanting to help others, we can dedicate ourselves, even if we can't do it every day, throughout the year, throughout our lives, at least this time we can do it with full focus and full concentration. Just meditate on all these reasons why we should do this. Because Maya will present so many reasons and suggest why we shouldn't do it. But we have to be fixed in this, focused. When going out every day and throughout, especially throughout this month, just don't think about what's going to happen in future. What am I going to do after the marathon's over? Just at least for this 1 month, be fully focused on what we are doing. The only thing we have to do is go out and distribute these books. And how are we going to do that? It's impossible to get people, if we think about it materially, it's impossible to get people to buy books. They come in this material world, especially in London, they come to London for sense gratification. And these are books which tell you that it's all a useless waste of time, and it's not only a useless waste of time, it's totally misleading, and you have to surrender to Krishna. So people, in general, at first, they are interested in these books. The only way we can distribute these books is to pray to Guru and Krishna at every moment. And don't be influenced by what the person says. You have to influence them by what you say. That means we have to be linked to the super soul in the heart. Take direction. What are we going to say to them? Krishna will dictate. In the morning, the whole day meditation, when we rise in the morning, immediately we should pray, Krishna, please help me. I have to do your service today. I have to try to help your parts and parcels who are very dear to you, who have forgotten you. Just complete meditation at night. When we go to take rest at night, again praying, Krishna, please give me the strength and the courage to go out again and do this. Total absorption. And not deviating this way. What's in the news and what's going on all around. Just with each person, just be completely focused in on them, seeing the spirit soul in everyone's heart. Don't see the body. What they say doesn't really matter. Whatever their thoughts are, of course we have to listen to them and respond to them, but how they're dressed, what they think, what they say, just we have to see, here is a spirit soul who needs Krishna, who doesn't realize he needs Krishna. I know, I'm in the fortunate position. Let them take this book and be benefited. So with this meditation, focus, rising every day, chanting our rounds, meditating on the complete absorption. This is perfect yoga, and this is the way to get the full blessings of gurus, Srila Prabhupada, all the acharyas, and Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, stop that. It's 10 minutes. Yeah, stop it. It's supposed to be 10 minutes, so I just went over. So I'll tell you afterward what to do with that. Okay. Alright, so now, that was very absorbing, just thinking of that. How much benefit those who actually go out on Sankirtan, they get so much benefit. So much it's enlivening every time we distribute a book. What to speak of these Bhagavatam sets you're distributing. That's something should be developed more and more and more, distributing these Bhagavatam sets. Then after some time we'll go back and give them Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. It'll be some time. They have to read the books, and then they have to be printed also, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, questions? I've been asked to have a question and answer session, so I presume you all have some questions. You only had that one question? Okay, well, if there are no questions, then general question, yeah.
This Rasa Lila session. Once Prabhupada said in the class that he was chastising these professional recitators.
Professional Bhagavatam reciters.
And he told that they are immediately.
He said that.
He said that they're immediately jumping to 10th canto.
Immediately jumping to the 10th canto.
To Rasa Lila.
And then to Rasa Lila, yeah.
And Prabhupada said that they are explaining the intimate affairs with gopis. And Prabhupada was too upset and he raised his voice and he's telling that, and he said, why gopis? Why only gopis? Cows, birds, and trees, all are equal, all same, all are equally dear to Krishna.
Yeah.
So my question is how we can understand it, because
all are equally dear to Krishna, Srila Prabhupada said. The cows, the birds, the trees, they're all equally dear to Krishna.
Because here in this Muslim world, usually someone is in conjugal relationship with someone, so he is most dear.
Well, someone said that the gopis are the dearest devotees of Krishna. Actually, Krishna himself says. It's right there in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 11th canto. On the other hand, Krishna loves all equally. Well, this is... We can cite here Chaitanya Charitamrita, that whichever relationship one is in, one feels that I'm in the best position. He thinks whatever rasa I'm in, it's the best. He feels I'm most... He doesn't want to do anything else. Hanuman doesn't want to become a gopi. Garuda doesn't want to become a gopi. For instance, Lord Shiva wanted to become a gopi. Narad Muni. So, but whatever position you're in, you feel that to be the best. But still, in that section, Krishnadas Kaviraj explains, still, if we examine, we'll bring out the conclusion that the Shringarasa, or the relationship, between male and female, that's the best. So both are true. Both things are true. For Krishna, everything is possible. He loves all equally, but still he loves more. All jivas are equal, but some are more equal than others, to paraphrase George Orwell. If I said that in England or America among people who read more than cartoons, then they would understand. It's a paraphrasing from... It's a famous... All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. It's from a book criticizing the communist revolution in Russia. So all jivas are equal, but some are... All are dear to Krishna, all are equally dear, but still some are more dear than others. That's why we have terms in Sanskrit: Priya, Priyatara, Priyataram, Priyatamam, dear, dearer, and dearest. So both things are true. Krishna gives his full love to every living being. He doesn't withhold anything. But some relationships are more intimate. Some desire it more than others. But then if everyone's a gopi and there's no trees, then and the gopis and no cows, and how are they going to be gopis? There have to be some cows, right? So everyone has their role to play. Yeah.
When you visited the Gaudiya Math in Chennai, I noticed that when you were circumambulating the deities, in front of the deities, you did
I turned around while circumambulating the deities. Made a turn. It's a common practice. If you see, people will do in many temples. I've seen it quite common in Udupi. Srila Prabhupada used to do it also. So I do it.
I was wondering that we shouldn't show the back to the deity, but when we turn around like that, the back...
It's momentary. You don't actually show, it's just momentary, as you're walking.
Is that the same reason why we do it to the Guru?
Yeah. Anything else?
Regarding book distribution, if book is distributed, then some follow-up programs should be there.
If a book is distributed, should follow-up be there. Yeah, go distribute more books. Not for each individual book. If people take sets of books, Bhagavatam, it's good to keep a contact, at least here in India. I don't think it's being done now, but previously in Germany and Switzerland, the devotees used to sell sets of Bhagavatam on the street to just completely new people. They were so empowered, but I don't think they followed it up. But here, they definitely invite people to the program, encourage them to read. There's so many things to do in preaching Krishna consciousness.
Distribution is like enough to...
We distribute books, and then what happens? We can't follow through or follow up with every single thing. Then it's up to Krishna. It's up to the individual who takes the book. Many times people who take the book, they don't read it, someone else reads it. Someone else might read it after 20 years. In many cases like that. Some may be thrown away. Many end up in second-hand bookshops. Then again, people buy them. They have their effect. Our duty is to distribute. What happens after that, we can't monitor them all. We could put a little chip in each book and follow them by computer, but we don't do that. That's Krishna does that.
Misunderstanding some devotees are propagating. What is the use of this distributing book?
Yeah, that's been going on since book distribution started. What's the use of this book distribution? There's always been propaganda against it. Prabhupada was very strongly against propaganda against his book distribution. When someone wrote and said there'll be a war and then book distribution will be stopped, Prabhupada wrote back very strongly, who's that rascal who has said this?
Even if these books are in the house, they are purifying atmosphere.
That's true, yeah. Just to be in the house. They purify the house, yeah.
One of my friends, he bought first canto of Bhagavatam, and he was drunk at the time. He was on some party, some devotee came to the book. And he went to house and he put on the shelf. 6 years he was not reading this book. Yes, he forgot about this book. But suddenly, somehow he read this book after 6 years, he read and he became devoted.
Yeah, there are many cases like that. When the time is right, people will read them. When the time is right for them. Myself, the first time I saw Srila Prabhupada's books, I didn't want to see them. A friend at school had got some books from devotees, wanted to show me. I said, no, I don't want to see them. I know all these Indian gurus, they're all cheaters, I said. That was my impression of Indian gurus. And then, probably two or 3 years later, then again, I saw a book of Srila Prabhupada and read it, and I went to the temple, and that was it. But the first time I saw them, I didn't want to see at all.
Should we make any plans to make people read books after that?
Should we make plans to get people to read books? Well, by doing Harinam Sankirtan, and also by having public programs, that awakens an interest. Otherwise, what plan? Well, can you think of a plan to get them to read it? What is the plan? You could maybe offer a prize to people who answer questions based on the book. You could maybe do that. What prize are you going to give them? You can think about it. But doing public Harinam, that in itself, festivals, this will help to awaken interest. The main thing is get the books out and then let Paramatma look after what happens with them. That's the main thing. The amount of effort we put into trying to get people to read the books, we could get more books out by putting the same effort into that, and then by getting more books out, more people will read them. So better just distribute more books then. Sometimes we hear, oh, no one is reading these books, but definitely they're reading. Otherwise, how are people coming to devotional service? By reading the books. I've seen in people on trains reading Prabhupada's books. In many instances, devotee went to someone's house and said, "No, I don't want any spiritual books. I already got books. I don't believe in any books. I've already got the books that I want." So which books are those? And he came out and showed teachings of Lord Chaitanya. I said, this explains everything. We don't want any we don't books for anyone else. And then said that was by the same author. Oh, really? Okay. Then they took some more. Bhagavad Darshan is a good way to get people interested in this philosophy. To have the regular Bhagavad Darshan, back to Godhead. But it has to be the same philosophy as is in the books. Otherwise, it's useless or worse.
Writing health tips and all.
Yeah, health tips is not going to get people to have interest in Prabhupada's books.
Stories, 75% of the book is stories from Bhagavad.
Yeah.
But no Shakti to make
Mostly it's all compromised in whichever language it's going on. In Tamil and Gujarati, it's okay. I'm not sure about Bengali or Oriya. Hindi is also English.
Some devotees say that Prahlad Maharaj, he never found fault in his father.
Prahlad Maharaj never found fault in his father. He didn't go around blaming him. He didn't find fault. He didn't think there was anything wrong with Hiranyakashipu being a demon. Is that the idea? He thought it was all wonderful.
Indicated personally. Indicated personally.
Oh, he didn't indicate personally? Well, he called him a Surya Varya, the biggest demon, and he said so many things to him, pointing out his position. Matirna Krishna Paratasvatova, Nate vidu swarta katingi Vishnum. He pointed out his position that he's completely in Maya. There are many verses, famous verses. Yan maitunadi grihamedi sukham hitucham. He pointed out his position as being completely in Maya. So he didn't say you're in Maya, but he said people who are addicted to sex enjoyment. And who is he? He's talking about Hiranyakashipu and others. Anyway, so many people, they want to interpret the philosophy of Krishna consciousness in their own sentimental way and water it down and make it into something more like Sri Sri, like that.
But it seems that it applies to one devotee.
Yeah, it seems to apply to one devotee, but I don't know who that is. It's a song to a particular Vaishnava. It's not to Vaishnavas in general, as some songs are. They are too. Or there is that Vaishnava Vandana by Devaki Nanda Das, which is addressed to all the Vaishnavas. That what is it? 7 generations of your family, previous and following, will all be delivered. 14, yeah. So at least one of them was very sinful, namely Hiranyakashipu. Basically everyone in this world is sinful, so will be delivered.
This connection, I read in the Triya of Vishnu Guru Maharaja, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhu said, Kanishta will deliver 3 generations, and Madhyama 14 generations, and Mahabhagavata 100 generations.
I don't remember seeing that. In Hari Bhakti Vilas, there's a statement similar to this also, which gives more generations. It depends on Krishna. It's not formulaic. Generally, Kanishta Adhikari needs delivering himself. So to speak of delivering others. All these things you're bringing out, that this kind of thing, that Prahlad didn't find faults with Nrsimha. This is all coming from Kanishta Adhikari mentality. They don't want to accept the reality of Krishna consciousness. They want to be nice in this material world. They haven't understood the difference between being good in this world and surrendering to Krishna. They try to conflate the two things. So it's some piety, some pious outlook, but it's they're trying to bring Krishna consciousness down to the platform of Sattva Gun, mundane dharma. I didn't ever hear that Prabhupada said that he never. But we find also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would sometimes be exhibiting ecstatic symptoms. Some non-devotees would come who couldn't understand this, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would restrain himself. So it wasn't that he was oblivious to this. He wasn't. His preaching method wasn't to show ecstatic symptoms. That wasn't his preaching method. His preaching method, which he gave to the first preachers, Nityananda and Haridas, was Prati Ghare Ghare Giya Karo E Bhikha Bhaja Krishna Balo Krishna Karo Krishna Shikha. To tell everyone to worship Krishna, chant the names of Krishna, and to study the instructions of Krishna. That was his preaching method. And he would go out also with his devotees to towns and villages, Udilo Aruna Puraba Bhage, Dwijamani Gaura Amani Jage, Bhakata Shamoha Loya Shate Gela Nagara Praj. So he would go with all his devotees early in the morning and do kirtan, and it would be very attractive, no doubt. Prema Dhala Dhala Shonara Anga Charane Nupura Bhaje. His golden form would be shimmering in prema, and the bells on his foot bells would be tinkling, but he would preach to them also. He'd give them instruction. If you don't, now that you've got this human form of life, if you don't worship Krishna, you'll fall down into shameful position. So, no doubt he was attractive. But that we also do. We go on Harinam Sankirtan, we chant and dance, and we give people instruction also. Our method is not to try and get our hairs to stand on end and foaming at the mouth. That's not our method of preaching. It wasn't Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's method of preaching either. People were attracted by seeing his ecstatic dancing. That they may also be attracted to the present day by the devotees, ecstatic dancing. But for it to be really effective, for it to be real ecstasy and not just some dramatic performance, then the devotees have to follow the regulative principles and actually be fixed as devotees. It's not some performance. Not by dramatic performance can people become influenced to become devotees. If the devotees themselves are actually following, then they can influence others to follow. If they don't themselves follow, then others won't be attracted to follow.
Many, but I could not write down more than this.
Okay, well, write them down and then tell me, and then we'll go through that. Yeah.
In one of the lectures that you gave, there was a question about meat eating. That Vedas allow meat eating to vegetarians. So in that you mentioned that we cannot ban. If we ban will not work. If we ban, it increases more. And all these propensities are always in the society. So, Krishna conscious movement, we say no meat eating.
Yeah, we say no meat eating, but we, at the same time, we understand that not everyone's going to come to this level.
Yeah.
So, for people who are going to eat meat, what I'm saying is not my idea. Everything I said about this is from Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said that there'll always be meat eaters in society, so some provision should be there. They can kill some chicken or lower animal before a deity of Kali. That's one way. Another way is by sacrifice, but that's not allowed in this Kali Yuga to kill animals in sacrifice. But they can kill some lower animal before Kali, or they can, if they want to eat beef, they can wait till the cow dies and then they can eat. So that is allowed, understanding that not everyone is going to come to the platform of pure devotional service. If everyone does come to the platform of pure devotional service, very good. We're not promoting meat eating, but that's practical. If you try to stop it only by law, just as in this country, in some states, cow killing is forbidden by law, but it goes on illegally. In some states, production and selling of alcohol is illegal, but it goes on illegally. So Prabhupada's point is that rather than you can't ban it just by law, so you have to make some provision by which it's restricted.
So that will be under dharma. It will be.
Is that within dharma? Yes, it is. It's at the yes. That's within dharma. That's at the lower levels. That's to regulate people in the lower modes of nature. It doesn't mean that you're sinless. You can perform dharma and still be sinful. Just using the Vedas as an excuse to kill animals. So Buddha put an end to that.
Guru Maharaj from Chaitanya Charitamrita is written that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had 3.5 closest associates.
3.5 closest associates.
Damodar,